Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Wouldn't we all like an easy access to being a millionaire? Well, if money is what you're after, then this is the perfect video for you. Keep on watching to find out about 10 amazing lost treasures that could make you rich. Who knows, you might find one of them. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon. 10. Faberge eggs. From 1885 until the Russian Revolution in 1917, St. Petersburg's House of Faberge created 50 Imperial Easter Eggs for the Tsar's family. These weren't just covered in the world's most precious stones and metals, but each shell opened to reveal a surprise, which could be anything from a ruby pendant to a tiny bejeweled train with working mechanics. In 1927, Joseph Stalin's economy was falling apart, so the Soviets decided to hold a sort of sale. Foreign collectors grabbed the Faberge eggs, and today only 10 of the 50 original eggs are still present at the Kremlin. Of the remaining 40, 32 are in museums or private collections, but 8 have vanished entirely. Estimates value the missing imperial eggs at as much as $30 million apiece. Whether they're lost or residing in private collections, these Easter eggs are definitely worth finding. 9. The original stolen World Cup. 2 years before soccer's governing body, FIFA, staged the first World Cup in 1930, it commissioned a trophy, which was a gold-plated silver cup on top of a sculpture of the Greek goddess Nike. After every tournament, the victorious nation would hold on to it until the next cup. Plus, the first nation to win the cup 3 times would become the trophy's permanent owner. In 1970, Brazil accomplished that feat. FIFA held a design contest to create a new award, while the original trophy was sent to Rio de Janeiro. The Brazilian Football Confederation kept it displayed in a special cabinet covered with bulletproof glass. Unfortunately, the cabinet's wood frame was not secure. In 1983, thieves burst inside, overpowered a guard, and pried open the display case to steal the trophy. It was never recovered. Police believe it was probably melted down for its precious metals. The trophy's true whereabouts still remain unknown. 8. The Tomb of Kinxihuang. This treasure trove is very much real, and the hunting part is over, but there's still quite a lot to discover. This tomb is literally an ancient booby-trapped Chinese emperor's tomb, and if that doesn't fit on this list, then nothing does. A quick backstory about Kinxihuang is about 2,200 years ago, he grouped the different factions of China and declared himself the first Chinese emperor. From there, he got super rich and then died. After he died, he was buried in a city-sized underground cavern complex filled with clay reproductions of all the soldiers, armies, and servants he could possibly need in the afterlife. The major hurdle left for its excavation is how to deal with the reported river of mercury around Huang's tomb. All they have to do is figure out how to not have it poison the area's water supply. And then we'll get to have a look at his legendary riches. 7. The walls of a $250 million room. In 1716, Prussian King Friedrich Wilhelm I needed to give Russia's Peter the Great a gift magnificent enough to solidify the country's allegiance against Sweden. This ended up being a room with walls made from 6 tons of amber, backed with gold leaf, and was named the Amber Room. The room was installed in a palace near St. Petersburg, where it became one of Russia's greatest treasures. When the Nazis went on a massive art-stealing rampage almost 2 centuries later, the Amber Room became a problem. There was no way to hide a large famous room. Thus, the room's caretakers tried to hide its grandeur behind wallpaper. This didn't work. Nazi soldiers found the room and shipped its panels to a castle in Königsberg, Germany. The reconstructed room was briefly on display in Königsberg before it was boarded up as the war was coming to an end, and nobody has seen it since. Many think the room was destroyed, others think that the Nazis tried to stow the treasure out of the city. Art historians estimate that the Amber Room would be worth as much as $250 million today. 6. Copper Scroll. This particular treasure hunt revolves around the Copper Scroll, one of the Dead Sea Scrolls. It was found in 1952 and was one of the only scrolls that were found where it was originally hidden. When archaeologists finally got it unrolled and translated, they realized the scroll wasn't a lost religious text like the others, but was a list of ancient treasures. Quantities of gold and silver and their locations were recorded on the list, making this one of the most straightforward treasure retrievals in history. Or it would have been if it could be properly translated. The scroll was written in ancient Hebrew, so there are quite a few words that have no way of being translated. So what should have been a simple extraction became a frustrating exercise. It's a fairly safe bet that most of the treasure listed is still where it was originally stored. 5. The $63 million hidden in Bedford County. Thomas Beale wanted his and his fellow colleagues' children to work hard for the wealth they had accidentally discovered while mining somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. So he decided to create 3 ciphers, one with the name of Thomas and his colleagues' kids, one that contained the perfect description of the treasure, and one with the exact location. The men entrusted it to an innkeeper, Robert Morris. Morris was supposed to wait for 10 years before opening it, and if by then Beale did not return for the box, a key to the cipher was to be mailed to Morris, but it never arrived. So essentially, silver and gold worth $63 million is hidden somewhere in Bedford and has not been found to date. 4. The French Golden Owl. In 1993, someone going by the pseudonym Max Valentine decided that he would convert everyone in France into a professional treasure hunter. That's the only possible explanation for hiding a golden owl somewhere in the French countryside. But that's not all. He also went on to say that anyone who finds it would get 1 million francs. So he went on to give 11 clues about the owl's whereabouts, but it still hasn't been found. However, in an interview in 1999, he did mention that one person came very close to finding it, so there is still hope. 3. Captain Kidd's treasure. Would this list be complete without a mention of pirate treasure? This treasure might be found in New Jersey. Captain Kidd used to be a government-approved pirate. He used to only attack French ships, but after his crew rebelled against that idea, he decided to attack everyone. That's when they started making real money, but he was eventually captured. The British weren't able to retrieve anything Kidd stole, and for almost 300 years now, people have tried to find the rest of the loot. The location of the rest of the buried treasure has been narrowed to 4 spots, but we'll talk about number 1, which is Cliffwood Beach in New Jersey. This has been the main focus of treasure hunters because it's centered between where Kidd's Rangers used to stand. There are only 2 possibilities for hiding places. The first is Money Island, but unfortunately, the island doesn't exist today, as it was completely eroded by Raritan Bay. So if the gold is there, it's difficult to get to, but not impossible. If it's not there, it may be near Treasure Lake. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on future videos. 2. Forrest Fenns treasure. The picture displayed before you only takes our mind to one place, and that is Forrest Fenns treasure. This treasure is some sort of a chest hidden in the wild. Any clues to its location mainly come from a mysterious poem. It almost seems too good to be true, but people's confidence in its existence is unwavering, especially as Forrest Fenn is still alive and told CBS about the treasure. Not much is known about the location. It's either in the Rockies in Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, or New Mexico. Fenn has said there are 265 gold coins and hundreds of gold nuggets. The chest's exact worth isn't known, as no one knows what's inside. The contents inside come from Fenn's career as an antique artifacts collector, so this is not a fable, but rather a treasure possibly worth millions, hidden by a guy who knows what he's talking about. He hopes the treasure is found by a family who has gone looking multiple times, making it a family bonding experience instead of a quest for riches. How wholesome is that? 1. Mosby's treasure. In the beginning of March of 1863, Confederate Ranger Colonel John Singleton Mosby and his band of guerrilla raiders took more than 40 Union troops at the Fairfax courthouse by surprise and overcame them without firing a shot. There, Mosby allegedly took a burlap sack packed with more than $350,000 worth in gold, silver, jewelry, candlesticks, and other family heirlooms, all of them stolen from the homes of wealthy Virginian planters. As Mosby was transporting Stoughton and the other prisoners back to the Confederate line, his scouts alerted him of a large group of Union soldiers nearby. In case of a battle, Mosby told his men to bury the sack of treasure between 2 large pine trees, which he marked with his knife. Mosby's raiders avoided a fight and returned to Confederate lines, but when he sent back his men to bring back the loot, they got caught and were hanged. He never went to get the treasure, nor told anyone else its exact location, so as far as we know, it remains buried in the woods of Fairfax County, Virginia, even today. And that concludes our list of the 10 amazing lost treasures that could make people rich. Let us know in the comments section below which treasure you'd like to find. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon.